This is where I love to butt in.
Guess you can't lose it, I can never find.
I also think that great advice gets lost if it's the wrong time.
Dialogue over drama.
Smoking cigarettes and watching Captain Kangaroo. You are listening to Dialogue Over Drama, episode 82. I am Dialogue Danny.
I'm Courtney Drama.
And we end up talking about nutrition today. And Courtney's want to start studying nutrition if she could do anything different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I looked at the cost of the courses, and it's definitely like online at your own pace. And I think each course probably lasts a few months, and it's like under $1,000. And I could just take my time doing it. And then once you have all your courses, you have your diploma, basically. That level of education is not really what I was going for. I kind of want more of like my, if I was to continue, which would take like 4 years, would be on more of the scientific medical side of what I want to learn. And that's like your bachelor's in medical science of nutrition, I think is what it's called.
Right.
But that's lots of money.
So we ended up talking about that, and then we ended up in a weird little conundrum. There we'll probably end up talking about it on the next episode, so not this one, but the motivation factor, because we had kind of a little bit of a back and forth on what motivates us. And
I think because there's different levels of what goals people want to achieve when it comes to nutrition, and I think the areas in which I'd like to learn more about nutrition right now was first about nutrition and mental health and how it can aid in reducing some side effects of some mental health things. But then the other big factor of it is just nutrition when it comes to fertility. So, of course, I took the conversation down that rabbit hole.
Right.
And that's where my motivation is.
You were convinced that I don't want to have a kid at all, and I've been lying to you for years.
No, it's really hard for me, and I don't know where it comes from. And to be honest, I think a lot of it stems from, we've had conversations in the past when it comes to having kids where we're both pretty much on the same page of like not wanting to do fertility treatments.
Right.
We don't have the money for it.
Yep.
I think it's really invasive. I think it's very straining. I think as I've gotten older and we've had conversations on, I'd love to try having a child naturally as best as possible.
Right.
What I do know that I think is fertility tracking-ish
Yep.
is, like I said, nutrition, certain vitamins both men and women can take. And also there are now at-home sperm tests. There's at-home ovulation tests that aren't just the strips. Like there's more techie stuff out there that is way, way, way cheaper, obviously, than going to a clinic. Not saying that that's like the one size fits all.
Yep.
But having that knowledge, I think, is so important. And I think I just have this underlying assumption that anything fertility tracking related is like off the table for you. And that's like just a huge assumption to make.
It's a huge assumption for you to make.
But I'm just saying, I think that's where, when you listen to this episode and where I get a little bit frustrated in your answer near the end, I think is stemming from that. Right. So I think I have it in my head that anything fertility treatment based is off the table for you, whether it be an at-home or in-clinic thing. And I think that is where a lot of my emotion was kind of coming from.
Right, which is understandable, and it's what I know of you, and which is why I kind of like will not pick the fights with you, but like I will like get to the bottom of it. Like normally, like when it comes to that, I'm like, okay, she disagrees with me, like I'm fine with it. But you visually looked really upset, like when we were talking. Well, so I was like, okay, I need to figure out what the motive is, because either you've taken what I said was way out of context, like you didn't get what I was saying, and you went down a different, you thought I was saying something completely different than I actually was.
Yeah, so what I hear of it now is that taking things or doing things to have a child, the child won't be the motivator. It'll be that it's the right thing to do for your health. And then if it helps with having a child, that's a bonus.
Ultimately, what it comes down to is, a couple episodes ago, do you remember when you were like, what are your dreams? Mm-hmm. And I was like, I don't have any, because I've accomplished all my dreams.
Right.
Anything that happens is great. I'm not denying myself anything, but I don't have anything where I'm like, man, this is what I'm going to manifest. Because I don't, like, I
I think just that as a whole is so hard for me to wrap my head around. And maybe this is where it's because there's an age gap. Maybe it has nothing to do with the age gap, and maybe it has to do with the fact that you believe you've conquered all your dreams, and I haven't for me. And so for me, I'm very wishful. Right. And I dream, and I have all these really quirky little goals and things that I want to do for myself because I don't feel like I'm living my dream or have accomplished anything of my dream. You are convinced you have. And maybe that's the difference. So for me, I would wake up every day and take the vitamins I need to, or take the tests I need to, and be really regimented about it.
Right.
With the motivation of, I'm doing it for a baby.
Right. So like,
and that's not the same page that we're on, so it's kind of hard to process.
When I say that like I've accomplished all my dreams, like I'm not saying it like all my dreams are done. I'm saying like if I say to myself, this is what I'm going to do, I don't plan it out. I don't figure out how to do it. I just do it. Like if I'm going to go like for me playing music, which I wanted to do, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna play music. I'm gonna put in the work that it takes to do the music, and I'm just gonna do the music.
Right, but this is where I feel like it's so you saying that is so contradicting to things you've said on other levels, because and maybe the reason you're saying this now is because this is your answer from past things, is that all you do is plan. You're like, I've already thought 8,000 ways this could go. I've already thought 10,000 steps ahead. So it's like, you are a planner. All you've ever done your whole life in any other aspect is plan. So you to say like, I don't plan, I just do. And it's like, okay, so either you're lying from the other comment you made.
No, planning. When it comes to the difference in planning is when you hear the word planning, what you do is you're like, this is going to happen on this day. I'm like, when this day comes, there's so many outcomes that I have my actions planned for everything that could come. You plan one main goal here, and then you're like, this has to go this way, and it's going to go this way. I do step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah.
I'm the kind of person where I'm like, I don't know what's going to go on, so I have all the steps for every possible scenario.
To me, that's still a form of planning.
But it's
planning for worst case scenario, planning for steps, planning for tomorrow, planning for today. It's still planning in my mind.
So when someone writes a movie script, mm-hmm. they'll write it out, and there's people like Quentin Tarantino where what's written on the page is what you read. It would be, you're the Quentin Tarantino. And then you have guys like Adam McKay, who like works with like Seth Rogen all the time and does like stuff like Superbad, where they're like, here's the script, but possibly there's going to be better lines we can throw in later. We know the idea of what we're going to do that day, mm-hmm. but we're just going to see what happens that day.
There's still planning involved.
There is slight planning where it's a rough thing where you are so rigid in your way.
Okay.
So if something
we both have different forms of planning. Just don't say you don't plan. Because once you've said...
I don't plan to your definition of planning.
And that's okay-ish.
But that's why I'm trying to say is like your way of planning things is this happens at this time. And if it doesn't, the world's complete. Now we shouldn't even move on.
Right. Well, I'm trying to be more flexible on the timeline of it, but I am still trying to know that at the end of the day, I'm going to die eventually. Like, I still have my goals and my timelines because I have a life to live. I'd like to have a kid before 40. I'd like to have a kid before 35. That's all, you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to plan in a
systematic way.
No. Sequential.
Oh,
sequential. I am going to plan in a sequential order because you don't have a kid pop out till you have a pregnancy. You don't have a pregnancy till you've had conception. You don't have conception until you have
pills and
no, or not even. Maybe not. Apparently. Maybe luck. I don't know. Like timing.
Yeah.
Right. You can't just get pregnant at any point in a cycle. You've got a 24-hour window in a 28 cycle, 30 cycle day. Like there's planning.
Right.
Having a kid's planning. Like that's just me. There's a sequence of events that have to happen for it to happen. And so
I fully get that. I just, it's.
I know I can't control, which is from our previous few episodes ago where I thought something had happened where like I know I can't control the moment in time in which it happens. I can't control it staying to full term. I can't control the due date. Like can't control that.
Right.
I've accepted that fate. But what I can control is the sequence of events that need to happen in order for it to happen.
Right. When it comes to the way I look at life, the one thing that I always fear in life is this. And it's something that you notoriously do. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong in this. Like, please disregard any negative thought you are taking from what I'm about to say. I'm not being negative at all.
I'll try to mind my face.
When I decide that I'm going to do something, okay, like when it comes to like a band or like a project I have or whatever I'm doing, I have thought everything through the whole way through, which is what you call planning, you know, like that's 100% there. And I'm like, okay, do I still want to go through with this? Is this going to make me happy? Is this what I want to do? Perfect. Okay, I do it. So many times with you, you're like, I want to create a business where I do portraits for people, or I do cakes for people, or I do cookies for people, and I'm going to create this business. I'm going to do this. You get to the point where you have this cookie thing. It's right on the cusp of doing this business where it's going to be this big thing. You could make tons of money. You've talked for 2 years about how you want this, and you're like, I really don't want to do this anymore. This sucks. And I'm like, that's part of the planning. Mm-hmm. Where I'm like, you, as soon as you start getting to the point where you're like, that's so frustrating, I don't want to be doing this, you should stop then. But because you have your plan in motion that doesn't have an out anywhere, mm-hmm. you just finally get so fed up and you're like, I'm never doing this again. But that's what planning is fully planning to the end and still thinking about how you're going to feel at the end. Mm-hmm. That's where my motivation is. I know that I'd love to have a kid. How to get there? We'll get there. I know that there's so many different things that may be outs, may pause that, may whatever. And I mentally am prepared for those things. You're one of those people where like once you're like, this is what I want, you're going to get there. And I have a huge fear of you just being like, you know what? This sucks. I don't want this. You get excited about the planning part of it. And then when it actually comes to fruition, because I've watched you build so many things up.
Right.
And then all of a sudden at the end, you're like, this sucks. I hate this. I don't want to do this. Fucking, why are people fucking calling me to make cookies? I fucking hate making cookies. Right. I'm like, for 2 years.
I know. I understand what you're saying. I just think for like a really long time, I've always been scared. I've always had fears. I've always had roadblocks. Things have always happened. I get it. But like at my core, especially with a lot of therapy and a lot of maturing, I'd make a great mom. We'd make great parents. Yep. And so I think the difference in that between that and fucking cookies is if it happened and all the planning and it was successful, yeah, I'm probably going to 8-9 months into a pregnancy be like, this sucks. I don't want to do this anymore. Guess what? It has to come out. I can't just turn off the oven and call it a day.
I fully get that.
Then there's the other side of it, which we've already talked about, where there could be all that planning and we continuously plan and we continuously plan and we continuously plan and it just doesn't happen for us. That I have my natural cutoff.
Right.
I've said, I see a life being okay without kids.
Right.
I would hate to live a life never trying.
No, I agree.
And then if at 35, 36, I go, I don't want to do this anymore. I do give up. Now that's like the cookie business. Yeah. You're fully prepared for that because I've already had that conversation with you.
But there's a huge difference in what I was talking about when I was talking, and I'm not saying that you're going to feel this way about a kid, but like you talk about like roadblocks. I'm talking about the fact that like you've made it to the point where there is no roadblocks and everything is just what you wanted on a platter and you decide, I don't want this.
And that happened once 3 years ago.
It happens to a lot of different things.
No, I know. I'm talking just about what we're going to get into in this episode.
Oh, like
I think that happened once 3 years ago where everything was on a silver platter and I freaked out.
Yes.
That was 3 years ago. I've had 3 years of growing, 3 years of maturing. I very rarely see that happening again where you're like, silver platter, everything's here for you. And then I, for some reason, find a reason for it not to happen. So
right.
But and any other hobby I've ever picked up or business endeavor, of course.
Yeah.
Because
so like
I'm indecisive on that.
But that's where, like, when we talk about, we get into, like, the whole motivation thing. Like, it's like, I truly, when I'm like, okay, this is what I'm going to do, I'm going to do it.
Right.
Like, and it's
You've already made your decision and you're going to go for it.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm like, and my thought is, I've done so much work for this.
Right.
It hopefully,
like, if anything,
the
you should,
works.
like, I'm finally at a point now where it's like, I've made a decision on one aspect of something, which has nothing to do with the business, adventure, and I'm willing to stick to it. You are like, I don't know, but you should be pretty shocked that my next hobby I picked up, which was like my little gardening thing,
right.
I didn't somehow turn that into a business because I think I realized from all of my past hobbies, I'm just no.
I just think that what normally when it comes to your hobbies is business is the motivator.
Right. Where gardening or scrapbooking has now been my just pure of enjoyment.
Where like
not trying to make a business out of it.
Normally, like when it comes to my things that I'll do, like my projects are, I'm doing it for me, and just because what I'm doing is a sellable product,
right?
It becomes something I can monetize,
right?
So like that's the difference. Is I'm never thinking like when I write a song, is this going to make me money? Or like when I do a project, is this going to make me money?
That's always been my motivator, and clearly that's always failed because I think I go in like guns a-blazing and then I burn out, and then that's why it stops. And I go, this sucks. I don't want to do this anymore.
Well, it's the same thing happened to me when I used to play in the cover band. We made so much money playing in the cover band, like
it just sucks all the joy out of it.
That it's just I got to the point where I was never even playing guitar for fun anymore. It was just all
right
monetized, which money's awesome, but
yeah,
when you're doing something that you're supposed to love and now you're faking that you love it while doing it, you know, like not all the time, like obviously, but like there's like some like Thursday nights it's 1:00 in the morning and I'm playing to 2 people, and I'm like, oh, this just sucks. But anyways,
in this episode we jump from nutrition and changing up ideas to my misunderstanding of I think what your motives were.
Yeah, and we kind of just got a whole other episode in the intro here. Anyways, so let's change the channel and we'll get into the actual body. All right. You're golden.
Got little whiny pants here. Hey, quit your whining. Missy, if you keep it up, you're going to get a mic of your own. Okay.
I guess you can't lose it, I can never find.
So today, I asked you a question that I thought you were going to have like a different answer to. And in typical fashion, you're very vague about some things. And
not vague, I'm honest.
Sure. And I said to you, I go, if you were to ever just like restart all over again and you had to like go back to school or just like have a different career, is there like anything you would do? And you're like, I would do a lot of things. It's like, okay, no shit. Anyways, I was expecting something in particular. But I had said to you that.
But that's not all I said. I said I would do a lot of things, but I don't think they're relevant anymore.
Right.
That's what I said. That's a huge difference in what you are taking away from what I'm saying.
Yeah, I guess. I just thought it was funny that you're like, I would do a lot of things. That's the part I just thought was cute. Anyways, I had said that one of the things that I've been thinking about that I would love to do if I were to ever take courses or go back to school or change careers is I've had a huge interest lately in nutrition. And that kind of brought it into how you think nutrition is a little bit irrelevant, how you have some different opinions about it that I disagree with.
I don't think nutrition's irrelevant.
That's also the gist.
I'm saying the job of being a nutritionist is irrelevant.
That's what
There's a big difference between saying nutrition is irrelevant.
I got my smokes and my beer. Nutrition's irrelevant.
Like, that's so fucking... If you're going to quote me, quote the whole thing.
Anyways, would you like to share your views on it?
I think I just did.
Okay. So, anyways, I disagree with you. One of the things you were talking about the job of being a nutritionist is you were very focused about the nutrition and the clientele of the job it's in to be solely about weight.
Right.
Is kind of where you were going, about people and like how no one will ever want to pay a nutritionist, especially in the world of AI and all of the research and things that people can get online through AI and all that stuff. Like it will tell them what it is that they quote unquote need to do.
Absolutely.
And to a degree, I agree with that. A lot of the research and things that I've been doing, I will Google something, and then obviously Gemini, Google will give me that AI answer.
Right.
And then it usually takes me to links, and I try to avoid that AI-driven thing. Like, I never prompt AI in particular, because unless I'm prompting it so specific, which I feel like a lot of people maybe don't do, like they'll just say like, oh, how do I lose weight? Or how do I have less gas? Right. Like you're really feeding it very vague questions. You're going to get very vague results. But I still think that there's definitely like a need for a nutritionist when it comes to having somebody that like actually works with you and counsels you on like everything that it is that you consume. And like it goes hand in hand with something that AI can't do, which is like, you know, allergy tests and different blood work. And like
right.
There's definitely all of the other pieces that make up what's going to work for your body.
Right. Okay. So I have questions. a nutritionist, okay? Nutrition is factual. It's a fact thing. Like, this substance
it's very
does this
science-based
for your body.
Yeah.
It's very factual. Which is why, when it comes to the AI thing, I think going to school for nutrition is irrelevant because you're just looking up facts, and facts are readily available.
Correct.
So that's what's there. The part that you keep talking about as being a nutritionist, which is why I think they're irrelevant, is, I need to get blood work. You don't even need to go into a doctor's office to get blood work done anymore. You can literally if you're really into it, you can do your own blood work if you wanted to. You can do all of the things that you used to have to go through a channel to get through, which is why nutritionists were a big thing back in the day. I assume they still are, but it's more like trying to paint a piece of shit gold, where, trying to make it look more valuable than it is.
Sorry, where are you doing your own blood?
I'm just saying that you can easily go to like a simple blood clinic and get stuff done. Like, you don't need to go to like a nutritionist.
No, but you usually need a doctor's requisition of what boxes they're checking off so that the person drawing the blood knows.
But what I'm saying to you is, like, you can do this kind of thing. You have the facts that you can get online. Like, most people, when it comes to, like, you saying you want to walk someone through, do you want to be a counselor then? Is that the side of it that you're looking into? Or do you want to do... Like, nutrition is taught to people at a young age, where, like, nutrition is something that's there.
Yeah.
And it's even more heavily focused on now in the school system of nutrition. So, like, now you have a whole generation that actually knows these things.
Right, yeah, no.
And then you have the generation that doesn't know it, that has AI, that has factual leads.
I'm not looking for, like, the typical nutritional guide that you learn when you're young, where you're given, like, the food groups.
But that's not at all what they do anymore at all.
Okay. Even when they just talk about, like, the nutrition that you need and, like, the minerals and vitamins of what your body needs and what foods you can get that from and all of that, like the stuff that whatever they are teaching kids in school these days, or whatever readily available information is out there, that's all great. I think I'm looking for more of the science-backed stuff that breaks it down a little bit more, that's very specific to women's health, hormones, and mental health as well.
Right, absolutely.
And I think one of the things that kind of started piquing this interest is when I finally was diagnosed with ADHD and got medication and realized people with ADHD and other mental health things in the way that they need brain health. Not that I'm looking to be like some sort of neuro brain person, but that is what piqued the interest of how much protein and water and certain vitamins and minerals our brains need to focus, and how much there are natural ways to treat ADHD that you actually don't need medication for. And although the medication's a great tool and I'm on it and I like it and there's nothing wrong with it, to minimize the symptoms. It doesn't make it perfect. Again, That's where I think medication for some people plays a huge part. For a lot of the research I've been doing, and again, this is just what's on the internet that I can find, and this is where I think going back to school would allow me more information that I'm not currently finding in AI, plus different studies, and like you just have access to just more. I don't know what it is. Like maybe I don't need to go back to school. Maybe all the information 100% is on the internet, but I'm not finding it.
Right.
Like I'm finding podcasts, I'm finding books, I'm finding certain information, but when they talk about people like maybe that can't take medication or don't want to take medication, and how nutrition plays a huge role in treating or aiding or reducing symptoms of mental health.
Right.
And we've talked about this, I think, on a podcast forever ago, because we talked about like my upbringing in the Catholic Church with reproduction as a whole and what we were taught and all that kind of stuff. It's crazy to be in my 30s and still continuously learn about reproductive health.
Right.
Okay, sure, I'm getting more in depth now, but I always thought that there was just 2 hormones. But there's 4, like in terms of like the women's cycle and things like that. I also didn't realize that the information that is kind of most available is all about like, or again, this is what I was taught in school, is like, it's all about like, the women's body that homes the pregnancy and cares for all of it. And it's like, well, no, when you actually look at like the DNA and the genes of having a healthy baby actually comes from the male.
Right.
And the quality of the sperm. And then started getting really, really scientifically in depth to how we can slightly alter through our nutrition the epigenetics and tweak that so that the sperm and then the egg and everything else is good, and then you have a healthy, and I've been learning more about like the nutrition aspect of preconception.
Right.
Like the way that the fertility rates are going as well is like, okay, everything teaches you about like with fertility, like getting pregnant. It's like, okay, but what about everything before getting pregnant? And then also when you're pregnant, staying pregnant to full term. So it's just, again, it started with the ADHD side of it and the research I was doing, but it's just blown my mind how much diet and like nutrition plays a part in that.
Right.
And like, of course, that's not going to stop me from having my Diet Cokes, my ice cream.
Right.
But learning that even at certain points in my cycle, there's like different things I should be eating because they make the side effects of what I feel hormonally easier.
Right. No, and I think that is a very cool thing where you're like, what if I add this? Because like
literally, it's
as weird when it comes to like nutrition and vitamins and stuff like that. I look at it as like wine. Like when I'm making a wine, I taste the wine and I'm like, okay, I need a little bit more of this acid. I need a little bit more of
cooking,
this.
adding flavor.
And it's just like I fully understand it. There's something in it, like for me, this is where I go to the negative, just to play devil's advocate on it, is like there's so much in it where I think people like it comes down to like when it comes to nutrition anyways, look at it like it's the therapy thing. Well, I went to therapy, so I'm fine now.
Right.
Like I did therapy, and it's just like they just counted down the 10 sessions they were supposed to take, and then they're like, oh, I did it perfect. Like didn't apply anything, didn't anything. I 100% am not against like people doing stuff to make themselves feel better. Like me, more taking vitamins in the last bunch of years and stuff like that. Like trying to be more that way. I get it. But also, I don't think of that as, oh, I'm doing this, so I'm going to be this mighty superhuman down the road.
Right.
Like, and I think that's where a lot of people think, I did this, so I now should be this.
Right.
And they kind of use it as, oh, because I'm going to be a superhuman, it now gives them more of the right in their brain that it's the box they need to check to be able to check the box of them doing what they want to do by like killing a box of chocolate or whatever. So it's like once I check that box, I don't feel as bad checking this next box.
And I think for me, and I get what you're saying, and I know this is where it's like there's people that take it like to that extreme because I can never see myself being the person that's like this is, I guess I have my own triggers, I guess, with it too, because I remember from a young age having doctors refer me to the on-site nutritionist as well, and then being handed the like diabetes chart and like them circling what I should and shouldn't eat in each of the food groups. And I'm like, first of all, I don't have diabetes, but like, cool, sure, it's a general overall health thing. Yeah. But to me, it was all about like what I should be eliminating. Right. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I understand that there's everything in moderation. When I look at the overall health, especially whatever it is my goal is, right? For some people, the nutrition, the goal is the losing weight. Right. And for some people, it's the mental health side of it. I don't think eating chocolate necessarily going to make your side effects worse. It's not about what you're removing. It's about what you're adding. Right. And I think I'm looking at it as, what can I add? Right. I'm still going to eat the chocolate. I'm still going to drink the Diet Cokes. Sure, I'm not having them in like maybe the hugest of quantities. And if it is causing any issues with like the gut health, the upset stomach, like the other thing too, like you always make fun of me, but it's like every single time I have dairy, you're like, okay, well, here we go. Yep. Like it really, really messes up my stomach. And it definitely depends on the type of cheese. Right. Oh, absolutely. So now it has me even like questioning from a nutritional standpoint. Okay, so it's not the dairy. It's definitely the type of cheese. Well, why is it the type of cheese or the type of dairy? Is it because it's how
the different enzymes that
but I don't know about that stuff, right? And so I'm learning about that stuff because I love cheese. So I'm like, okay, definitely ice cream's a no-no, but for some reason yogurt, totally fine. Right. You know, and so it's definitely like certain processed sugars really make me gassy and then others don't. Like it's just kind of going through the motions of that. And yes, sure, some things will have a process of elimination. Some things I might end up removing or altering, whatever. But I think it's all about like, what can I add into my diet? What can I add nutritionally that will support whatever goal it is that I have?
Right. So that's the fact that you just said whatever goal I have is the huge, massive difference that we not fight, but you always feel weird because like I completely disagree with the way like you look at it. Mm-hmm. Like my thought is like I'm going to be concerned about Dan for today, tomorrow, maybe the next day. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make sure I have what I need, the fuel in my body to be able to do this way. And I'm not thinking, oh, I don't want to eat this because 10 years down the road, I want this. Mm-hmm. I will never be like living for the person that I'm going to be 2 years from now.
I know that about you, and I think that's where the conversation would come into play when I look at nutrition from the goal of fertility.
Right.
And, you know, something like sperm taking 72 days to regenerate, there would be a point where I would, in support of doing something like having a kid be done together, you would look at, okay, let's say for some reason we're struggling to get pregnant. I would probably say, well,
okay,
let me
just create this world. Like, just, you say to me, hey, start taking these pills.
Yeah.
Perfect. You know, I'd be like, okay.
For sure.
It wouldn't be an issue. And I wouldn't be like, I'm not doing it for the reason you're doing it. I 100% am not doing it the reason you're doing it. I will never be doing it for the reason you are thinking. Because it's not promised to me. It's not something that I'm going to build up in my brain that I deserve to be able to have a child and to do this. That's not promised to me. I'm taking these pills because, it's good for my health.
Yeah,
sure,
it's not
whatever.
hurting anything, right?
It's not hurting anything.
Yeah.
So, like, by you saying you should take this for this, I'm not taking it for the reason you want me to. I will never do it. And I know even just looking at your face right now, you're angry at me, but you don't know why.
I think I'm frustrated in the fact that it's like when facts are presented in such a way scientifically to say that nothing in life is guaranteed. But if you could possibly remove cigarettes for 72 days, or if you could add in these supplements for 72 days, or whatever that short-term goal was, in the hopes that it improves the quality of your swimmers for the collective goal we have together of having a child, I would hope that you would be like super on board with it. That reason.
I wouldn't do it for that reason, because that reason wouldn't be good enough for me.
Okay.
Because we don't know if we can have kids. So why would I do something being like, if I do this, I get this, when me getting the thing at the end isn't even a real thing that exists yet?
Right. But
so I can't have that be a motive.
How do you also know it's the thing that's not holding you back?
What do you mean?
What I just said. How do you know then, by not quitting smoking for 72 days or by adding these supplements in for 72 days till your next batch of sperm generates, isn't going to also...
You're missing what I'm saying. I'm not saying that I wouldn't quit smoking. I'm not saying I wouldn't take the pills. I'm just saying the motivation you want me to have for doing those things will never be it.
So you would do it because I told you to and get it out of your head that it's for the purpose of that. Then.
Not get it out of my head, just like it doesn't work for me. If I was like, I really want to have a smoke now, but man, I want to have a kid. That won't stop me from having a smoke. What will stop me is don't smoke. Like, it's not going to be like, I'm not motivated by things like that.
So if you had proof, like a pre and
post. You can't give me proof.
Okay. A pre and post proof of a sperm count.
I don't know why you're trying to convince me to change the way my brain works.
I'm not trying to convince you. I'm trying to figure it out as to like why wouldn't it be for that reason? Because
that doesn't work. It's not real. I don't live in dreamland.
It's not.
I don't think if I wake up tomorrow, that's a win for me. That's the way my brain is.
Yeah.
So if you're saying do this for this motivation, that's not motivation to me. Mm-hmm. So as much as you're trying to convince me it should be a motivator, it's not. Mm-hmm. Like, it doesn't work because it's just the way your brain works. You're like, if I put all these pieces together, I'm guaranteed this.
I never said guaranteed.
No, I'm saying the way you look at life.
Right.
Is if you put all these pieces together, you're guaranteed this thing. Every little goal you have is a Lego box to you where you just need to put the pieces together and then you have your thing.
Right.
My life has never worked that way, where it's just randomly a bunch of mixed match Legos line up, and then all of a sudden I have something cool, and I'm like, oh, that's cool.
Right.
And like it's totally different the way we look at things.
Yeah, interesting. I feel like if there's any control to alter the genes so that like chemically it's like fertility is easier or pregnancy is sustained full term, after trial and error of the same thing just not happening, there would be a part of me, whether I actually say, yep, it was those vitamins I took, or yep, it was that piece of fish I ate that made it work. I would still be open to the idea of trying anything naturally, one that makes me healthier, not knowing it.
I'm not contradicting you at all in what you're saying. Like, right. I completely agree with everything what you're saying. The thing you're not getting is my motivation
Won't
be that.
Okay.
I'm still doing the thing. I'm still on board. I'm still going to be like, yeah, baby, cool, awesome, great. This is awesome. Yummy pills. I'll be that.
Right.
Like, it won't change who I am, but my motivation isn't like, oh, my future child. It's not at all. It never will be because I don't have a kid yet. So I can't live in dream world.
That's like, totally fair. Anyways, the research I've been doing on a lot of the nutritional side of it is definitely beyond, it's definitely something that, like, for my health overall isn't something that I can just do within like a 2-month span. So the stuff I've been researching about what I can eat or should try to do to, like, you know, subside certain symptoms of different things mentally or physically, as well as adding in things that I think will make me sleep better and feel better, is something that I would just want to do, like, long term anyways. So
absolutely.
It's just, but the whole side of it, like the scientifical side of, like, nutritional science, I think is what interests me more than just being like, oh, a counselor and I know, like, the basics.
Right.
But obviously that seems like a 4-year study to get there.
We're right at the end of time right now. But you know what? We'll pick it up. I have a good question for you to pick up the next episode. Okay, goodbye. You've just listened to and finished Canada's own podcast, Dialog Over Drama. The amazing music we use in this episode is provided by Allegories with their song Pray, and Jesse James and the Medicine Show, I Think I Just Lost My Mind.
Nice.